live with the Creativity Cave. I'm Dina Rico, and I'm super happy to see you all here. I'm super happy we get to stamp together today. Yay! I also have a little watercolor project for today, so that always makes me happy. Let's see here. Ooh, let me bring up my live on my phone so I can see what all of you wonderful friends are saying. Please drop in here and let me know where you're watching from. I always love to see where everybody is. I also love seeing my fellow Iowans, so hello. We had a lovely weekend this weekend. I got to see my baby boy. I know he's not a baby anymore. In fact, he's like such a man now. He has like a real mustache and everything. Which I don't know that I love, but as a team, they're growing mustaches. I don't know. Anyway, he ran up in Minnesota this weekend and did just amazing. I was really proud of him. It was really rough last year. This is a tough course. It's just really hilly, sharp turns. He said it just never gets flat. And so he really struggled last year. In fact, when he finished, I'd never seen him quite like that. Like we had kind of had to carry him back to like where their tent is from the finish line. And he's never really had that happen before. Fast forward, we found out he was actually anemic all season last season, but it's amazing what a little iron can do for a kid who runs a lot. So anyway, it was really fun too because he ran against some of his old high school friends, and so he got to see them. One of his former teammates was in this meet as well. And so it was really fun. I was cheering for him and I was cheering for Carl and of course his teammates. And I just laugh because there's like 3 guys on Carl's team that all look the same. They have short sandy blonde hair, they have the little mustache, and they're all about the same height. And so when they're running, it's super hard to tell the difference between them. So I felt bad because I cheered for one kid with the wrong name, but I don't know. He probably didn't know. Anyway, but I was super proud of him and it was really fun to cheer him on. I think his next meet we won't go to because it's pretty far away, but I believe the one after that we get to go to. I have to double check my calendar. I might just sneak out. But the other thing is it's such a pain with our dogs too, because either have to get Ella to come stay with them or we have to try and take them with us, and that's kind of a pain. So we'll see. But I also got to see my sister and my niece, which was lovely. We had a fun little outing on Saturday. My sister was shocked because Carl ran 10 miles on Saturday and 17 on Sunday. This kid runs like 80 or 85 miles a week. And my sister's like, why? And I kind of think that too a little bit, but I don't question it. Anyway, so that was my weekend. A bit of time in the car, but time well spent so we could see Carl. I got like 1,000 hugs in. So that was really nice. And only some of them were really sweaty. So, have we been back to the cabin? No, but we're going to go this weekend because we need to either decide to close it down or we're just going to go. So we'll see. I think I'm mentally prepared to go back. Actually, I wanted to go this weekend with Carl, actually, but he did not have a car, so we didn't want to drive him the 3.5 hours back to Minnesota. So we just stayed at my sister's house, which was fine. Anyway, let's see here. Shirley says, I feel like I've watched him grow up. I know. It's really fun because when he was so like my in-person customers before I had my online business, my in-person customers literally watched him grow up. Um, and Ella, because I think when I first, right around this time I started my business in Iowa, I was a demonstrator before I moved here, but when I kind of got going in Iowa, I was pregnant with Ella, and then obviously had Ella and then had Carl. And so some of my really longtime customers have watched both of my kids like grow up. So that's really sweet. Um, and he used to, this is so funny. He used to come downstairs when I had classes to say goodnight, to give me a goodnight kiss and usually see if there were any treats. And he would come down in his underwear, like his underoos. Um, and so I always laughed because like, kid, put something on. But he had no shame. So he would come down in his underwear, and that was always pretty funny. I feel like it's such a weird thing because it seems like it took forever for him to grow up, but in the same breath, it happened like instantly. I'm sure many of you with kids and probably grandkids can relate to that. It's just wild that he's been growing and changing and, you know, moving on. I think too, COVID was weird because we had so much extra time together as a family, which was wonderful. Even though it was under such horrific conditions. But I loved that we had so much time together as a family. So that sort of hit pause on everything. But then everything seemed to fast forward after that because after COVID, Ella moved out and grew up like without telling us, I feel like. And then Carl went so quick. Oh, Megan, remember his birthday when all he wanted was cards from the ladies? I know, and he used to call, well, both my kids called the Stampers the ladies. So that's so sweet. And yes, he still has those cards, and we actually do talk about that from time to time. He loved that. And he, he's just so sweet. Did you guys see, he sent me flowers? I think they came a week ago Wednesday. So that was really sweet. Like that totally made me cry. So that was just like the best. He's so sweet sometimes, and then other times you just want to wring his neck. It's so complicated. I was really proud of him this weekend though. We were trying to coordinate everybody's schedule. My niece came home for the weekend too. She's the one who goes to school with Carl, at the same school. She came home for the weekend. She had a hair appointment and a dentist appointment on Saturday. Carl needed to get a run in. We wanted to go have lunch and then go do some things together, all of us. And so we were coordinating all of these schedules. And I was like, okay, you need to have your run in, get showered and dressed, and be ready to go by 11:30. And he literally at 11:29 was like, okay, I'm ready. And then my sister wasn't ready, which was kind of funny. But he's usually like 11:30, you tell him, okay, you got to be ready. And then at like 12:30, he's ready. So I was really proud of him. That was pretty awesome. He is growing up. Diane says, I miss seeing him come downstairs during my life. I know, and he'd say, hello, internet. That was cute. Yeah, those are the days. I am also laughing because, so we went out to lunch twice while he was here after his meet when he was super hungry. And then on Saturday with my sister. And just the sheer volume of food that kid can put away. Oh my gosh. It's amazing. He said he has to eat 4,000 calories a day. Can you imagine? I wish. Yeah, so, and he's skinny, like he's thin. In fact, he said that he went into the pool. I think this was at the hotel because the team stayed at a hotel the first, the night before the meet. And he said he went into the pool and he goes, yeah, I don't float. I'm like, yeah, there's no flotation in you. I'm like, I wish I could give you some of mine, but I guess it doesn't work that way. He was your entertainment during COVID. Yes, he loved coming to say hi to the ladies. That was a fun time, wasn't it? All right. Well, I hope you all had a good weekend and that it was lovely weather wherever you were. We had pretty good weather. I was so grateful his race stayed dry, which he says he prefers rain during a race, but as a spectator slash participant, I was very glad it was not raining because that is no fun. Let me just tell you. So the rain held off for his race, which was really nice. And then I had an umbrella, which I did not need until after the race, which was great. And then the weather was really nice over the weekend, so that was good. Of course, yesterday it was the best day, and we were, traveling, but it was a really lovely weekend. And we had a nice week of fall, and then it was fall's fall because summer's back. And it's pretty warm today. Let's see, I think it's about 80, 78 right now. I would love for it to cool back down again because we've had our air on for a little bit because it's been just hot enough. You know what I mean? So anyway. Okay, well, today is the first day of fall, which I can't even believe. I can, but I can't. The only thing I don't like about it is the days are getting shorter, and I find that to be rather offensive. My husband and I went for a walk in the evening, yesterday evening, and I was just like, this is depressing. It's getting dark so early. I really love the long days of summer, and I'm not looking forward to it becoming dark at like 4. So anyway, but we've got a couple of fall cards, and you guys, I have a Christmas card for you today. It took a lot of effort on my behalf, but I did come up with a Christmas card, which by the way, I love. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. And yeah, and a little watercolory. It's kind of a fall card. So I hope you're ready for that. A few announcements. First off, tonight, I think this is dropping at midnight tonight. I'm pretty sure. Tonight will be the launch of Stampin' Up's new Advent calendar. I've got a little picture to share with you in my visuals. So I should probably flip my screen around. And then I just realized I have not cleaned up my desk. So I've got stuff everywhere, but that's okay. We're going to get to it. So let me flip her around here. Ooh, there we go. Okay, so these are the stamps we're using. The Advent calendar is so cool. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but so there's 12 days. So whether you want to call it an Advent calendar or just 12 days of Christmas, whatever you want, it's coming tomorrow. It's while supplies last. The cost is $99, and it is pretty awesome. It comes with 12 days of gifts plus a stamp set. So it's like a baker's dozen, if you will. And there are dies in here and DSP. That's all I know for sure. And then everything else is a mystery. But what I've seen of it so far, it looks really awesome. I'm very excited about this. I would definitely encourage you to get this if you are interested in it. I think it would be a lovely little Christmas gift. You could either hold out and get it for yourself for Christmas, or you could ask for it for Christmas, but don't wait because it is probably not going to last a super long time. I don't think. So just be aware of that. Now that goes live, like I said, starting tonight at midnight. and is while supplies last. Of other announcements, our fall watercolor retreat is coming up. Oh my goodness, you guys, I cannot stop gushing about this event. I'm just so excited. It is going to be tremendous. Now, the one thing I do want to tell you is that a week from today, registration will close. So if you are interested in coming, I still have a few spots left. Registration does close next Monday, and would love to have you join the fun. I can just tell you, an incredible lineup for this event, both in projects and goodies that you're going to receive. I can't wait. So it's going to be pretty awesome. Also, new catalog make and take packets are sold out. I'm excited to tell you that. And they will be shipping this week. So if you ordered one from us, they are shipping this week, as is the PDF. If you ordered a packet, you'll get the PDF this week as well. So watch for that. Sunshine and Creativity delivered. Oh, goodness. Oh, so for our upcoming box, you have until the end of this month to get registered. We're gonna do holiday cards. Holy moly, we voted on it, and the voting was scary. It was really close. We voted for holiday cards, and then we're going to do washi tape. Will be probably our next box. So I'm excited about that. So if you would like holiday cards, make sure to register by the end of this month for Sunshine and Creativity delivered. They will be fabulous. Also, our Stamp Happy Academy website is filled with inspiration. For just $20 a month, you can get 3 exclusive lives, the next of which is happening tomorrow afternoon. I have a live happening, so I need to post my link in the Stamp Happy website, which I'll probably do either tonight or tomorrow morning for you. But we do 3 exclusive lives per month, 4 if you count our Stamp Happy party, which is with Kelly, Barb, and I all together. It's very fun. We had quite the meeting this past month. You can get the Stamp Happy Party for free by being a Stamp Happy Academy subscriber, or you can earn an invitation when you spend $35 or more in my online store the previous month. So if you order during September, you get invited to October's party. October's party, I want to say, is on the 10th, but I would have to double check that. It's the second Tuesday of the month. So check that out. And then, of course, rewards. Don't forget, whenever you place an order, you can earn 10% back in Stampin Rewards. From Stampin' Up, you do need to opt in. When you spend $35 or more, you get an invitation to the Stamp Happy Party. When you spend $50 or more, you get the All-Star Video Class Bundle PDF. This month, it is the Painterly Pairs suite or collection. And then also just this month, if you spend $75 or more, you will get a mystery grab bag. And the more you spend, the more goodies you'll get. So if you spend, more, you get more. So I'm looking forward to that. And then if you would like the Painterly Pairs PDF, you can get that in my PDF store. There should be a link in the description of this video, as well as for the watercolor retreat. So I'm looking forward to all of those good things. And if, again, this advent calendar is going to drop tonight at midnight, Stampin' Up time. Okay. And yes, my bestie Barb hit her million last week. I was so excited for her. Oh my goodness. That is just such an incredible achievement, and I'm just so proud of her and can't wait to celebrate her. And it was really fun. The countdown, she was texting Kelly and I like all throughout the day last week on Thursday. So that was a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, I was like just nervous, not nervous, but excited, I guess, anticipation, It was really fun to watch that happen for her. She's very cute too, because she does not like the spotlight and the limelight. So she's like, okay, what else is going to happen? So I go, well, Sarah's going to call you. And she's like, what? So that was really funny. She said they had a lovely chat, so that made me happy too. Anyway, it's a lot, actually, when that happens. It's honestly, it's really overwhelming. And as much excitement and buildup there is to all of it, it's like stressful too, actually. Just because I I I I'm not like Barb where I don't like the spotlight. I'm okay, but it's a lot of I don't even know how to describe it. Pressure maybe is the right word. I don't know. It's just an interesting experience. So I'm excited for her. Yes, she does get to go to the home office. They have a retreat once a year. So they literally, so she will go next year. I think you get to pick between years of dates in case, like you have a wedding or something you need to be home for. So yeah. Yeah, so she will get to enjoy all of those fun perks and benefits and everything. We'll get a special card, so watch, because I'm sure she'll post about it, but so will Stampin' Up. Over the next couple days. I actually asked her, I'm like, did you get your card yet? And she said no. So I suspect tomorrow she'll get it. It always kind of depends when it falls, because I feel like they sort of overnight that stuff, but I don't know how it works. Remember the first one I got like the next day, and then the next one it took a few days just because of the timing of it. So anyway, it is a very exciting occasion, and I am very happy for her. Okay, so I think that's everything. I think we should get started. So our first card, we're gonna create like a little watercolor background. I always love doing this because it's just so easy, and anybody can do this. All you need is a couple of colors. So I wanted to do kind of a fall background. Maybe sunrise, sunset, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really matter. And I'm trying to think of the colors I want for this. Maybe some yellow, some timid tiger, and maybe a little berry burst. And maybe a little blue. Maybe we'll see. Maybe a little night of navy. What do you guys think about this color scheme for kind of a sunrise, sunset look? Okay, let's see. And I am gonna take, because I always do this, I always really kind of muck up my table. So I'm gonna do this on my silicone craft sheet because I think that'll keep my table a little cleaner. And what I want to do, whenever I do a background, I like to take my water painter and just kind of spread some water around. By the way, if you did not know, we have water painters back. So I'm using Fluid 100 watercolor paper for this. Oh, goodness gracious. This would just be a disaster if it was not on watercolor paper. First of all, the paper would curl into a roll immediately. Whenever I do watercolor, I like to work with the lightest color first and then get darker. So of the yellows, my favorite yellow is Crushed Curry. And I'm going to just kind of do some lines like this across here. I'm not going to just color the whole thing. I want it to be a little bit streaky. Last night, in fact, let me see if I can find this. The sky was so beautiful last night. Well, I guess I didn't take a picture of when it was really pretty. This is, I don't know if you can see this. This is, I don't know, Andy said this was like probably a, what do you call that? A rainbow right here, but that's the sun. But then there's also this other line mark in the sky. And I was like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. But it was really pretty. The sky just was pretty. But notice like there's the clouds are the streaks kind of going across. I'm trying to think, do I have any other pictures? Oh, look. Oh, look at that. So serious. Running so hard with that mustache. This is the end of the race when he's like, oh my gosh, is it over yet? Please tell me it's over. And here was more when he's not totally dead. Anyway, okay, sorry. I can't help but gush. I thought I had some more pictures. Oh, I took this picture. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love the fall colors. These are just a few leaves that are changing on our tree. And then I was trying to get fancy with my picture taking. That's just a dandelion. Anyway, okay, sorry. I don't have any more sky pictures, but now that I've blabbed all through that, my paper's starting to dry. So we'll just throw a little more water on here. Okay, and the reason we put water down first is so that the colors will blend a little better together. I know I said I wanted streaks, but I don't want like harsh lines on my streaks. I want my streaks to kind of bleed and blend into one another, so it's not too harsh. And I definitely want more of the yellow at the bottom. So that looks nice, I think. We'll keep this Timid Tiger open because you never know, we might need some more. And then Berry Burst, and I want that color to be more at the top. I mean throughout, but a little more focus of this color at the top. So I'm getting a little heavier with the color here, and you can see, oh, doesn't that look good? If I can just say. Okay, and then I want a little more. So I'm gonna take, now I've kind of gotten this wet a little bit. It's kind of wet with my water painter. So I want to soak that up a little bit just with some paper towel because I want to squeeze the lid to get some more ink onto that from the pad onto the lid. Now, if you struggle to squeeze, because I know this is hard, you need some good hand strength to make that happen. You can literally pick the color up by just tapping your block on or dripping some watercolor reinker or pad reinker onto a block, a clear block, and you can pick up the color that way. And oh, that is looking good. All right. Then I think we're going to put just a little bit of blue in here. What do you guys think? Should we add blue or no? Blue or no blue? Now I got to get my comments back so I can see. Am I squeezing the water painter as you brush, or does the water just come out as you paint? Ideally, yes, you would squeeze this and water would come out. However, I find that I go through tons of water, and so I don't use them that way. I have water on my table that I use. I'll scooch it into the screen. You can see I've got water right here, so I'm dipping into some water because I don't have the patience. Okay, Holly says, oh, everybody say no blue. Okay, we will not do blue then. Noted. All right, then I want to put a little more of this color on here. And again, see how I'm kind of doing the streaks, and even within its own color, I'm doing streaks. I'm going to bring a little bit more Timid Tiger in here as well. Now, this is not drippy wet, so I'm just going to squeeze this one more time. And then I'm just adding a little bit more because I want to deepen the color a little bit. Also, typically when you watercolor, it dries a little lighter than what it looks like when it's wet. So that's part of why I wanted to get the color a little bit richer, because there's nothing better than that. Now, if you really, really want rich color, then you go ahead and pull out your watercolor paint, because that will give you even more rich color. Now, I'm going to dry this off with my heat gun. I still think we could have put a little blue up here, but you guys said no blue. I went with no blue. Just saying. But I really like the streaky look because I think that's more natural in a sky. And do you see how it's lightening up a bit? Okay, now the other thing I like to do is flip this over. And when I heat the back side, that helps it dry flat. And one of the benefits of doing it on the silicone craft sheet is that it really it allows you to get the color all the way to the edges, so there's no white. But like I have a little, I don't know if that's white, but it's a little bit light right there, and that just helps keep the color across the whole piece, if you know what I mean. Okay, now that is not 100% dry, but it is pretty close. You want it bone dry before you stamp anything on it. And we're going to stamp a sentiment on here. Okay, so there we go. Now, ahead of time, I took from the Autumn Trees bundle and die cut this little silhouette of these cute little deer on here. Of course, whenever I think of deer, I think of Kelly and the movie My Cousin Vinny. So I also have, so by the way, this was 3 by 4 1/4. And then I've got a 3 1/4 by 4 1/2 inch piece of black cardstock. And then this piece right here is 4 1/2 inches across, like that. So it kind of is going to line up just like that. Okay. And then we're going to stamp our sentiment, which is just from Simply Said. This is a set that's been out for forever. Isn't that nice? Okay. It just works. Okay. So I'm going to stamp that in black. And again, I think we're nice and dry for this. Because if you stamp on here when it's still wet, it will bleed. And then you will be so mad. Because you'll be like, I made the perfect background. And then this bled and now it's horrible. So thinking of you. Oh, just nice. Basic. Now, this card I think is perfect for just about anybody on your list, but it would be especially nice for, well, really anybody. But I think it's a good masculine card too. So like if you wanted this to be a birthday card for a guy, a retirement card for a guy, that would be really a lovely card. Especially if you have somebody who's into the outdoors or hunting, that kind of stuff. I, of course, am into the outdoors, but not hunting. I've never been a hunter. Just not my deal. But look at how cool that is. Now, here's the $10 million question. What color card base should we put this on? So I will pull a couple of options. Do I find with the white black memento pad that the image or sentiment stamps darker? I don't know if darker is correct. I feel like the stamp inks better. Thus, it stamps clearer, which is why I prefer it. So I would say clearer, but clearer isn't necessarily darker. Sorry, I'm grabbing options for this. And I'm not going to lie, I'm struggling a little. Okay. So we could put this on Berry Burst, Crumb Cake, or Timid Tiger. Which color do you think? So let me know in the comments which color you want, and then I'm going to take and attach this with some glue dots. Like that. Okay. Ooh, interesting. Interesting ideas. I think Timid Tiger is winning. I actually personally like it best on Crumb Cake, but I understand Timid Tiger. We can do Timid Tiger. Okay, now what if, would your mind change if we stamped something on the background? do like the audience participation in my lives, by the way. I always try to get something to like interact with everybody. Okay, so I was thinking it might be kind of cool if we stamped this big old tree in the background, just like that. What do you think? Look at, I haven't used the stamps in this set. I've used the dies, but not the stamps yet. You know, I thought about crushed curry. I think crushed curry is a little too like bright in your face. Let me grab it. I think that's just like, oh, I don't like it. Can I explain my choice of crumb cake? Does it stand out more in your thoughts? I feel like the reason I love crumb cake, and actually we're going to do another crumb cake card in a minute, is the reason I like crumb cake is it's because it's neutral. And so this is for sure the focus of the card. It's the background, the card base itself is not competing with this part of the card. And that's why I really like that. I think this is not too bad because it is subtle. And then like you saw, I showed the crushed curry and that's just was like slap you across the face bright. So that is why. And then what do we think about the putting the big tree in the background? Do we like that, or is it like, what? Cajun craze, you know what? There's no Cajun craze in here anywhere, so that would not be on my list. Cajun craze is, of course, a wonderful fall color. Actually, we're going to use it in our next card, but it is not, it's not one of the colors I used, so I don't think it would coordinate very nicely with my card. What about a layer of crumb cake? Yeah, that's definitely possible. Well, we could do, okay, Francie says no on the tree. Trish says yes on the tree. Okay, any other votes on the tree? I'm giggling. You guys are funny. I also thought about putting a tree on the background of this, but ultimately decided against it. I keep thinking about when Barb and Kelly and I went on our little adventure last year. I want to say it was like in late October, early November, something like that. Must have been October. And it was just so pretty. And we had skies just like that. It reminds me of that a lot. And we saw lots of animals. No bears, though. I don't think we've ever seen a bear on our trip, much to Kelly's chagrin. For me, I'm just like, as long as I'm safely inside a vehicle that can get away, I'm fine. Gosh. Tree surgery, yes. The tree will take away from the focus of the image. Well, we're not going to stamp it in like black. We're going to stamp it subtly. Remember last week, didn't we do a really subtle stamping? Or maybe that was in my, that might have been my live for our launch party. I can't remember anymore. The lives kind of run together after a while. Okay. So, I need a big old block for this. It probably needs the background stamp block, but I'm too lazy to grab one. So, we can do this a couple of ways. First off, I just happen to have some 4x5 1/4 of crumb cake, so we can do that. Let's see how inky my crumb cake is. Somebody said second generation. I agree. We want this subtle, not slap you across the face. Okay, so we got rid of one bit of ink. Oh, there's the second bit. And it's just, oh, you don't hardly even see anything. I kind of like it, to be honest, but We can also stamp it twice. Let's try this one more time. I'm gonna go full strength since we cover so much of it up. Like right there. And then a little bit again up here, like that. Ooh. What do we think? Or without? With crumb cake? Or without? I kind of think without. Ooh, Stacy says with. Cheryl says with. Tiffany had a 400-pound bear in her yard 2 days ago. Oh my gosh. Sonia says without, with. No tree, without, without. No crumb cake. Oh my gosh. You guys are killing me. Or I'm really going to rile you guys up. Or with crumb cake on crumb cake. So many choices. Okay, we still haven't done another option, which involves cleaning this stamp. And that is doing Timid Tiger. Now here is where I do worry it would be a bit bright, so we'll stamp it off. And we'll stamp it off again up here. Well, that's really light. So we'll stamp it off. And then we'll stamp it on here again like that. And there we go. I think the background is really subtle. I actually kind of like this the best. I'm just giggling because everybody has an opinion on it. Okay, now I'm going to throw one more wrench into this whole thing. And, well, I'm going to try and throw another wrench in this. What if we added a little crumb cake, well, not crumb cake, linen thread to this? Right here. Oh, for goodness sakes, come on. Okay. All right, I'm just gonna tie a little linen thread on here because I think that will just kind of ground this in nature a little. There's nothing like nature like linen thread, right? Okay. Let's get this bow under control so it doesn't take over the whole card. Now, I know some of you are probably like, why don't you use black? Well, because I think black would just blend too much into the background, and this, I think, kind of gives it that nature look, naturey look like that. And this, it's like the eye doctor 1 or 2. 1 or 2. Oh my gosh, I just love you guys have so many comments about this. Linen thread's always a good idea. No thread. Oh, if somebody asking why I trim my stamps, it's so I don't catch the edge. Okay, is this 1 or is this 1? I can't remember now. I can't be an eye doctor. I actually just got my eyes checked. I think it was last week. And I was like, no, it was the week before. And I was like, I don't know. Why do you got to ask me such hard questions? Also, it was very disturbing how blind I was. And did I tell you guys this? My sister said, oh, I just went to the eye doctor and my vision got better. And I'm like, shut up. Vision got better, whatever. I have to get the kind of glasses where it's thinner, like you have to pay extra because otherwise I would be wearing Coke bottles. Okay, well, whatever option this is, that's what I'm doing. Thinking of you. Oh, so nice. Oh, goodness. After all of that, then we're just going to put this on the inside, and I don't know. I can't do this tree in good conscience on the inside because it's just so ginormous. So what if we just put like that? Is that a deer or an elk? Oh, these are questions for people like Kelly. I don't know. Do you guys know? It's what I'm going to put in here. So complicated. And yes, we'll do a quick little stamp surgery. So yeah, I trim the rubber. Now there is a science to this. You want the foam to be wider than the rubber. So you can see I kind of do it at an angle so that the foam is always a little bit wider base. You never want to undercut the foam because then your stamp won't stamp well. But what makes me crazy is I'll leave a little on here so I can show this to you. Those of you who've been around me for forever and ever, you know the drill. But like, and I'm going to stamp this and exaggerate. That is catching the edge. And I did like wholeheartedly exaggerate that. If you're careful and stamp, it won't be an issue. But if you're not paying attention, sometimes you catch that edge and then it ruins your card and then you get really mad. Okay. Catherine says it has a Lion King feel to it. That's funny. I love that. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to just stamp this in here. Like so. I know that's kind of boring. But it works. Maybe I wonder if we could do just a little watercoloring with our blends, and I'll show you what I mean. Oh gosh, this is my blend that needs to be. We're gonna see if I can do this. Okay, Timid Tiger. I might just be ruining this. We'll never know. Actually, we will, but these Timid Tiger, yeah. Dark. Just do a little dark. And maybe this is dumb, I don't know. You guys are probably like, what are you doing, Dina? You're ruining this. Okay, and I'm probably going to just do some light berry burst. That looks totally stupid. It probably does. This is when you don't go off script too far from your original because it's dumb. I'm just kind of going over the whole thing to sort of see if that'll blend it out. I don't know. Maybe that's really dumb. Nobody has anything to say. I don't know. I think that looks dumb. We're tossing that. We're just gonna stamp this again and try not to look dumb. There you go. I don't want to put green for the ground because that so does not match our card. Maybe I'll just put some Timid Tiger for the ground. I feel like this can't just stand on its floating. You know what I mean? Shirley liked it. Ugh. Oh my gosh. And it's floating. It's a floating above the ground that I put down. There we go. Now it's on the ground. What do we think of this? I feel like we got to clean color him in. Maybe with some pecan pie. Light pecan pie. We want to start with dark. I know. Sorry, guys. I'm such a crazy person. Oh, crumb cake on the ground. Yeah, that probably would have worked. But I just wanted to bring in a little color from, you know, the rest of the card because we've got the color on here. We kind of got to... I swear the other cards are not going to take us this long, you guys. I do have really fun cards, but they're pretty well prepped, so it'll be quick and easy. Okay. If this is a deer, I don't know. Whatever. There we go. There's the inside of the card. I can't wait to show this to Kelly and she'll be like, what? I probably just should have die cut that again. Oh well. Is this the dumbest inside of a card ever? Oh. I like the outside. I stand by the outside. Okay, goodness. Let's just be done with that. Okay. I'm not sure if I like it anymore. Orange fall leaves. Thank you. And Cheryl says it's a deer. Cheryl knows a lot, so I'm going to go with her answer. She always knows everything. All right, now we're going to move on to something that I am comfortable with, and it is a super cute fall card. Guaranteed awesome. Oh boy, you guys are probably like, whoa. All right, so fall card, crumb cake. Such a good fall color for a card base. Cheryl says the elk's chest is bigger. Okay, good to know. All right. It all started when we chose Timid Tiger instead of crumb cake. I know that kind of did mess everything up, but it's okay because I actually like it. All right, so this card base is going to be crumb cake. I have die cut for myself the largest postage stamp die, and then I have a piece of cardstock to go over it that I've embossed with the Gathering Leaves embossing folder, which I love this folder so much. Oh my goodness, it's a for sure must have. Okay, so I will go ahead and attach those together. So I've got early espresso for my postage die, and then crumb cake for my little layer here, and that's going to get popped up onto my card. And then I have die cut the word fall, and I have two color options, so let's see which one we like the best. I've got F-A-L-L in Cajun Craze, Berry Burst, Petunia Pop, and Timid Tiger, or we could switch out this one for this one, Old Olive. But I feel like I'm gonna go with Timid Tiger. I'm not even gonna, we're no voting. Democracy's over here. Kidding. Now I wanted to put a little sentiment on here. So in some early espresso, I'm going to stamp the word hello, as in hello fall, because it's here today. And this hello is also from that Simply Said stamp set. And I'm going to stamp it kind of in the middle because I want to add a little something to this, but I'm not exactly sure where I want it to go. Okay, now here is the other, this is like the $10 million question. My idea was to take and stamp each of these letters with some leaves from the Gathering Moments stamp set. So we've got all these fun little leaves and whatnot. Where did I mount? I was like, I mounted all these stamps. What did I do with them? So I'm going to take one and we're going to try it on the Old Olive. And if we like that and it's not too much, we'll do it a different leaf on each one of these. Okay, so I know this is the one I rejected. But do we like the look of the leaves stamped on here? I think we do. I think that looks pretty cool. Oh my gosh, I love that you guys have all this information. Husband agrees, it's a deer. Okay, y'all are saying stamped. I agree. Let's go for it. All right, now I'm going to clean that one off. And then we're going to stamp tone on tone on these letters. And so this is from the Party Alphabet. Now let's get rid of this. We're done with that. And we need, well, actually, we need some of those same colors again. So I'm going to stamp this one. Actually, I think I'm going to do the little mushroom in my Timid Tiger because that's just kind of cute. Okay. Clean that leaf. And then we'll do this leaf in Petunia Pop. Like that. Then we've got Berry Burst and Cajun Craze for our other two leaves. Oh, I love this so much. There we go. How pretty is that? And then finally our large leaf. Now I also stamped on Crumb Cake the acorn in black, or I'm sorry, early espresso, and die cut that ahead of time. And that's where I wasn't 100% sure how I wanted to put it on my card. Okay. Don't I have deer in my cornfield? Well, yeah, I do, but I can't tell the difference between a deer and an elk unless I'm looking at its front and butt. And we don't have that many elk around here. That's mostly elk I've seen on my trips to Barb's house. So, well, I don't know. I'm not, I see deer all the time, but I don't know. I'm not like a nature spotter. Looks like a deer. Could be. So I hope that made you giggle at least. Okay, so now I want to pop up some of these, well, I should say all of these letters onto my card, because if I have taught you nothing in all of this time, it's that popped up stuff is awesome. That's my lasting legacy, is you should always pop up at least something on every card. Okay, then this A is gonna fit dimensionals pretty good. So I'll just put a couple of thingies. If I thought this through, I might have die cut these with like foam adhesive sheets, but I wasn't thinking that far ahead. That would have worked. Okay. And then I'll use this edge piece for that. So good. And I feel like this edge piece can go here. And let's see. That edge piece goes there. That one goes there. this one. Ooh, nope. Too big. This one goes here. Okay. Now that we've got all of that done, we're going to kind of set these on here because I sure like arranging this stuff before committing to it. F-A-L-L. And there we go. And then hello, fall with that. So cute. And then I think I'm just going to put a little one of these guys on here. Like so. Sorry, can you tell I like this? I hope you guys like this too. And I'm kind of putting these a little bit at angles because they need to overlap ever so slightly to all fit on here. Not a lot, just a little. And it's because that because the postage die kind of cuts down our set space. F-A-L-L. So love this. Oh my gosh. So I know the alphabet dies are kind of spendy, but man, they are good. Good, good, good. All right, and then we're gonna put this on. I probably should have just gonna distress this slightly just to make it, you know, stand out ever so slightly. We're gonna put a little dimensional on the back of this because as we know, everything's better popped up. Put a little bit of adhesive to stick that right there. Oh my gosh. Seriously, look at how cute this is. Okay, and then I'm gonna pop this up. I don't even care. Like that. But, oh, so good. Maybe because we popped all that stuff up, I'm not gonna pop the whole thing up on my card, but holy smokes, I'm loving this. Okay. Adhesive. Look at that. Oh, so beautiful. But wait, there's more. I mean, you guys knew there was going to be more, right? So I'm going to take my linen thread combo, espresso and olive linen thread combo pack. And I'm just going to put a little linen thread on here. Just a little. Oh my gosh, it's like almost felonious how cute this is. If there was any felony I would commit, it would be cuteness. You're welcome for that, by the way. Okay, so there's that on there. Oh, goodness. Okay, then we need I just gotta find the right aha. These are pressed flower motifs for our little embellishments. going to put a couple right there. Oh, how awesome is this? Oh my gosh. What? No wink or spritz? Hold on. We can do it. I would never leave you hanging. Of course we will spritz. Okay. So pretty. Oh, I love this so very much. This has got to be my crowning achievement in card making, at least for today. Okay. So now let's take, and on the inside, we're going to just do a little stamping on the edge here. Let me bring my scrap back. Cajun Craze. Which one was that? This one. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little of each of these on the bottom. And I like to work from the biggest to the smallest. That way I will, have enough room for everything. Timid Tiger is this. Like that. And then, oh, did I put my other ink pad away? I sure did. Petunia. Now, I think I saw somebody say I should have switched Old Olive for the Petunia Pop. And you absolutely can, switch out the colors. I kind of like this traditional yet non-traditional fall color card. But, oh goodness, there's just a myriad of colors that would, fit the bill for this. Crushed Curry, Cajun Craze, Old Olive, Real Red, or Cherry Cobbler. 1, 2, Old Olive and Cherry Cobbler. Or, I'm sorry, Crushed Curry. These two, Old Olive and Garden Green. I mean, so many different color combinations would work for this. I could have also switched out Petal Pink for one of these, like maybe this one. Petal Pink would have been cool. I'd probably move that one over and put Petal Pink on the end. Just lots and lots and lots of different possibilities for color combinations for that card. But very, very fun. So I hope you love that. I do really like how that turned out. Okay, so there's that. Then, on the inside too, if you didn't like the stamped leaves, you could do a strip of embossed crumb cake cardstock too, just as a thought. I might like that better. I don't know that I totally loved the stamped images on the inside, but it's all right. The outside's what matters in this case. We don't usually say that, but it's true. Okay, so next card is going to be a Christmas card, which is kind of against all that I believe in, since today's the first day of fall. I just have a hard time getting into Christmas when it's, 80 out. But we're going to start with a nice Real Red card base. And this one is going to be super fun. I'm going to be using let's see here, Ornamental Christmas. And I think it's the Modern Christmas DSP. So I've got, well, let's give it a try on this piece, because I've got a little, this is going to be for the inside of my card, is this this designer series paper. And it's got some gold in it, which is just lovely. Again, this is the inside piece, and then we're going to have the same piece on the outside. But what I wanted to do is try a little coloring with my Christmas colors. So we'll just try on some of these circles on the outside. So I've got dark Granny Apple Green, and I'm just going to color in the circle on here in a couple spots. And then I'm going to try it on my, oh, that's Cherry Cobbler. I want Real Red. I thought those seemed a little dark. And then a real red right here, and just take a look. Do we like the look of that? And I'm going to go with yes. Okay, so we can color some of these. You can do all of them or just a few of them. It's up to you. So we're just going to color, and I'm just going to do every other one on the row here. So it's pretty quick. This is obviously something you probably wouldn't want to do a million of unless you don't mind coloring. And I mean, this isn't like fancy coloring. It's just coloring in a few circles. Let's just see how many. One more. Okay. Oh, so cute. So I just did, this is the dark real red. And then I will do dark granny apple. And what's great is the black, if you go out of the circle, the black covers any mistakes. So it's just going to look perfect. I mean, don't go crazy, but you can have a little fun here. And I think I might have just needed a little touch of this right there and this right here. Oh, now this is just the inside of the card. Okay. So this is just for the inside. And actually, I might have it go all the way across. But we're going to put it on straight. Okay. All right, so that's the inside. That was just our test piece. So let's come back to our card. And we're going to start with I die cut just a white, what is this called? Ornament, right? Yeah. I die cut just a white ornament, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment in black memento. And my sentiment is, "'Tis the season." Okay, so let's stamp that right there. Oh, perfect. Okay. Then I've got this piece of DSP, and I've got a black let's see, I think this is, measure to be sure, da, 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 da. 5 1/8 by 3 7/8 black. And then we're going to adhere it to a layer of granny apple as long as I can find my adhesive. Okay, so that's a 4 by 5 1/4 granny apple. Okay, we're going to add this piece of designer series paper over the top, and then add this on here. So on here, what I'm going to do is just kind of randomly do some circles in each color. So I'm not going to do all of them. I'm just going to randomly do some. And I will do them in both colors, or both light and dark of both colors. And it's just going to be fun, 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 fun. Okay, so that was the light. This is light. And there's really not much rhyme or reason. I'm just trying to do this pretty randomly. And this is our dark real red. So we've kind of got a nice little variety of color on here. Let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if I need to, I can always add more. So look at how fun that is. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's come back to our card base. I'm going to put this over the top. Like so. And I'm going to add this strip. And of course, if we need to, we can always color a couple more circles if we feel like something's missing or whatever. But just so pretty. Like we covered up that one. I didn't think I would, but that's all right. Now, before I finish this, last I checked, we had gold and silver trim in the online store. So I'm going to put a little gold bow on here. But we also have red ribbon that you could use. Actually, I was going to use red ribbon, but I decided gold might be just kind of awesome for this. So that's where that came from. Or you could do black baker's twine, whatever you want. But I do kind of like that gold a little. It's kind of fun. So the DSP, I think, is called Modern Christmas, but I will check in just a second. It is in the online exclusives. And then, I mean, obviously we're popping this up. I think we all knew that was coming. But this is actually a pretty simple little card here. And you can do this, you know, with a variety of different things as far as the DSP. So like there's different patterns and you can color different sections of them or little bits and pieces here and there. So for instance, there's like this tree. You could color that tree if you did this strip. You know, lots of different options. But Modern Christmas is the name of the DSP. Okay, so let's finish this up. We've got the inside of our card, and so I'm going to stamp Merry Christmas on the inside, like that. And then I'm going to adhere this to the inside of my card. So pretty. My DSP didn't quite go all the way, so we're just going to trim it like that. Oh, so fun. All right, but we also need embellishing. And for that, I have the traditional sparkling sequins. I don't know if that's, oops, the right term for these, but they are the right colors. So I think I'm going to put a big one right there and a medium one on either side. You could, of course, do other colors or other combinations. And then maybe I will put a red one right there and a red one up here and another red one over here. Oh, so much fun. How cute is that? And flat, because those sequins are nice and flat. So let me bring in my cards. Let me close my ink pad before something bad happens. But such fun projects today. Oh, goodness. Yay, us. So we did this one and this one and this one. Love the outside, not so much the insides of these, but well, I like the inside of this one. Anyway, I hope you loved these projects today. If you could give me the thumbs up on this video, that would be so appreciated. Don't forget that when you shop with me, that helps me continue to bring more awesome videos just like this to you each month. The Advent calendar is going live tomorrow, tonight. I really think it's a not to be missed item. Treat yourself or ask for this for a gift from Santa. But let Santa know that these are while supplies last, and I don't suspect they will last a super long time. I think they're going to be really popular because they look pretty amazing and a good value for what you get. I hope you all have just the best rest of your week. If you are a Stamp Happy subscriber, I will see you live tomorrow afternoon. Otherwise, have a great evening. Thanks so much for stamping with me today, friends, and I'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.